Life.
Hey loves, I'm stopping by really quickly just to let you guys know about my new merchandise that I recently put out. You guys asked and I delivered. You can now pick up your Pick Me Nation t-shirts, you guys. I also have Winter is Here merchandise. And I also have Who You Want, Gotta Want You t-shirts as well. So make sure you go and support. It is the holiday times. Definitely go pick up a shirt or a mug for your mother, your fathers, your sisters, brothers, your husband, wife. Make sure you go and support. I have those shirts available now. Hey YouTube, it's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another reaction video for you guys. Listen, before we hop into the video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live. And make sure you chime in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. So in this particular clip, this woman is saying or giving her perspective or reasoning behind why women in healthy relationships don't really talk about it to single women. And I have my thoughts on it as well, but I want to go ahead and play what she had to say. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Let's get into the video. Here we go.
The reason why you don't hear about healthy relationships anymore is because of the fact that those of us in healthy relationships ain't got shit to say to y'all. Because anytime we tell you what we do for our husband or what our husband does for us, y'all look for any reason to try to come up with some type of excuse or some type of narrative that we're being controlled or that we're not really happy or I would never do that. Is exactly why your miserable ass is still single, and exactly why no matter who you try to date or what you try to date, you still end up unhappy because you have this long list of what you feel like is supposed to come from a relationship. I can't remember the last time that I did laundry, but I will be out here taking the trash out because I don't give a I would rather take the trash out than to be downstairs doing laundry. You take the trash out, you're a woman. You shouldn't be taking out the trash. That's a man's job. Your man does the laundry. You should be doing that. You're the woman. It just so happens that what he doesn't like to do, I don't mind doing. What I don't like to do, he doesn't mind doing. Like, y'all are weird. My husband cooks probably most of the time. My husband taught me how to cook because I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to season. And when he gets done cooking, I serve him his plate. I serve him, and then once he's done eating, he gets up and leaves, and I take his plate, and I go there, and I clean the kitchen. The reason why we don't be talking about how good our relationship is or how healthy it is because y'all's little toxic asses be coming in there trying to say something crazy, yet y'all are the single ones. Make that make sense.
Baby, listen, I'm definitely feeling what she's saying. And the reason why is because I say this all the time. Listen, every relationship is different. Every marriage is different. This ideal, picket fence type of relationship that a lot of these single women think that a relationship should look like is part of the reason why they're single. There's no one size fits all type of relationship or marriage. And y'all got to get that through your head. There is no one size picket fence type of relationship. You have to figure out the dynamics of your relationship and what works for you. It doesn't have to look like Tom, Susie's, and Cupid's relationship to make it make sense. I totally understand what she's saying and where she's coming from because that is a relationship. And it's funny, the women who are in relationships and long-term marriages, these women don't want to hear from us. They don't want to hear what we got to say because, like she said, it's automatically assumed, oh my God, she's probably not happy. Oh my God, her husband is brought her the bare minimum. Oh my God, this, that, everything that they could think of negative, but they can't even get a man to commit to them and stay with them for any amount of time. And they don't even know how to be in a relationship themselves. You don't know the first thing about a relationship, what it takes to keep one, and how to build with a man. But they have all of the answers, but they don't have the outcomes. And the women who are married and have the outcomes, oh my God, you try to find everything negative about it when you don't even know the half. You don't even know how to even get a man to marry you, first off, or a man to even be with you and take care of you. But they have this idea in their heads, I think, and the Bonnie Crew Society members are telling them, girl, that's right. They're talking to each other and they're coming up with these scenarios and these ideas amongst each other. And it's the okay corral. They're telling themselves that, girl, yeah, that's what he should be, because a man's supposed to do this, and girl, yeah, and I'm supposed to be this, and he's supposed to, and this and that, and then none of them have a man. because y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. And the women with the experience and the experience to tell you, hey, this is what it's about, this is typically what works, they don't want to hear that. You want to do what you want to do, and you want to manifest the outcomes that you think you should have, and you're not doing it. You're not able to do it because you're off base. It's out of order. It's not even nowhere near of what a relationship is supposed to look like. The things that make a relationship work are the very things that these modern day women don't want to do. They don't want to put in the work, the effort. They don't want to do it. They think a good relationship is a man catering to them and buying everything, and it's all about money. When that's further, that's not the case. Yeah, if you're dealing with tricks and you dealing with, then yeah, it's all about money and the transaction. But when you're dealing with somebody that actually loves you and actually cares about you, and you have a family with them and you're building a life together, it's not just about money, because it takes more than money to maintain, first to build and establish and maintain a relationship and a family life. It takes more than that. Yeah, money is definitely important, but there's more to it than just that. And I keep saying that, and people don't want to hear it. Oh, well, money's the most. Yeah, when you're centered around money, this is why so many people are single, because either if you're the man with the money, a woman is trying to use you, or if you're a man with the money, then you just become a trick to somebody. And if it's the woman, all she's doing is looking to use somebody with money, because that's all it's about. When you have a relationship that's built upon more than just finances, you have stability there. This is why the relationships can thrive and last. It doesn't mean that just because you've been in a relationship or a marriage for years and years that it's all hell broke loose and it's so bad. No, this is the narrative that they want to push, because they know deep down inside they may not have what it takes to even get to that point. You know that because you don't have the option of a man wanting to marry you, you have to discredit it and you have to make it look bad and make it seem like it's not the goal, because you don't have that opportunity. And most Black women don't. So they don't even understand the first thing about how to maintain a healthy relationship. And once again, when there are individuals who are in healthy relationships start telling you, hey, it's not about money, it's not about you getting your way. Yeah, it's not about a happy wife, happy life. It's not about a man just catering to you, but it's about you guys working together and you building together and you understanding him and you listen to him and he listens to you, and it's a reciprocal thing. They don't want to hear that because they've been sold this whole fantasy dream that a man is supposed to be rich and he got to come in and pay all the bills and treat you and give you a lifestyle. If he want to be with you, it's all about a lifestyle. It's all about paying for trips, and he just sit back and work and pay for your trip and do all this. No, this is that BS that they're selling out here. And there are even some men out here pushing that agenda, but that is not typical for the average people in the world. And most people in this world are average. So that is not going to work for the majority of people that we have out here. And if you are one of the, or some of the people who are thinking that you can manifest that type of lifestyle, then you're sadly mistaken. And this is why a lot of these women are crashing out and they're confused, because they're allowing other people to tell them that, oh, you should be looking for a rich man to come in and do this and XYZ. And if he ain't got it, he ain't really worth it, and you shouldn't settle. And it's setting these women up for failure. And then when they, talking about, I need a man to take me shopping and to, understand who and what I am at 60 years old, then, if it's not working for the celebrities, what makes you think it's going to work for you? If a lot of these people with all of this money and access, why are they struggling with relationships and they can't really find somebody that they can actually be with? You ought to see there are so many examples of people with money. Since everybody want to focus on the money, there are so many examples of people with money, both men and women, and they still can't keep healthy, stable relationships. They still can't stay together. Even the ones who get married, they end up divorcing. Now, and they have money. So money is not the end all be all. If you have money, money shouldn't be the issue. That's my thing. If you have money, then that means you don't have to worry about money. You want somebody who actually genuinely loves you, somebody who's there for the right reasons. Y'all are compatible. Y'all have the same goals in mind. You want to build something more outside of money. Because when you have money, money is not the problem. Money is easy. You can get the finer things in life, as people would say. What else besides that? So my thing is this, this is why originally the relationship shouldn't just be based on finances and money, because there's so much more that you have to develop and build. When you go into stuff for the wrong reasons, this is why they fail, because it takes more than that. If y'all have money, money is not the issue. You got to work on other things that could be an issue in a relationship. Because when things arise in a relationship, it's not a lot of things have nothing to do with finances. And finances could be one aspect of it, but it's not the only one. And if you're not prepared for the other ebbs and flows of life that you have to go through with your mate, then you're gonna walk away, and you're not gonna understand how to go through different things because you're not prepared for it. You think that a relationship and a marriage is supposed to be like a fairy tale. You think that everything's supposed to be sparkly and roses. You don't understand that you go through life changes. And you go through life changes in life by yourself. But what you've committed to do when you get married is you committed to that person before God, that you're going to go through the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of life together. No matter what you guys go through, you're going to work on it. You're going to work through it, and you're going to work through it together as opposed to doing it by yourself. Because when you're single, life is going to life still. You still going to go through some shit. You just going to be going through it by yourself. But what you're saying is, look, we're going to go through ups and downs, good for better or worse, sickness and in health, till death do us part, richer for poor. That is because life is going to life. These things are inevitable. But would you rather go through it together, or do you want to do it by yourself? That's really the difference. Are you willing to work with and love somebody and have that experience of love and building families and creating memories with a mate? Or do you want to just live life by yourself, experiencing everything by yourself, not building a family, not doing all of that, not having that experience? That's your choice. But you got to understand, having a man doesn't mean that you are, absolved of all of any responsibilities, that you don't have to do nothing just because you got a man. No. Your life your single life is your single life. When you get married, now it's a married life. Now you're building something together. So anytime you have to build something, it's going to take work, right? Building takes work. So you can't expect to live your life a certain way while you're single. And then when you get a husband, he's supposed to give you this brand new experience. But even if he does, just say he does, it's still going to take work. It's not going to be this princess, just easy street life the whole time. You're going to have to put in some work. I don't care who you are, how much money you got. It doesn't matter, because money is not the end all be all when it comes to building a relationship. It takes a lot more. You got to understand how to communicate. You can't be selfish. Put money aside. You still got to understand how to work with the person that you're with, understand them just as much as you want them to understand you. There's a lot of other things involved here. This is why you find women who say, I was in a relationship with a man with money and I had to get out of it. Why? Because he didn't care to communicate with you. He treated you poorly. He didn't care about your feelings or anything, didn't even try because he didn't give a damn. He just had some money. And you thought that the money was going to somehow be the end all be all that keeps a relationship going and make it great. No, that is not true. And this is what as married people, you try to tell women that and they don't want to hear it. And then they keep going in circles with different men experiencing, trauma or not understanding the person. Then you walk away. You don't know how to work through issues. You don't know how to resolve conflict. You don't know none of that. You just think, it's supposed to be do what I say and make me happy and that's it. No, that ain't never gonna work. That ain't gonna never work. This is why women tend to keep walking away from man to man to man to man, and then finally end up by themselves because you haven't learned the proper ways to build and establish a relationship with a man. There's no one size fits all. When you get in that thing, it's what works. She mentioned her husband cooked and taught her how to cook. Some people are like, oh my God, she don't know how to cook. Well, she learned how to cook. He taught her how to cook. So she know how to cook. He cooked. It's not this one size fits all. I say it all the time, and people don't understand it when they're not in it. But when you've been in a marriage for more than 20 years, like me and my baby, it is, it start out one way and it end up another. We have grown sons. They know how to cook. Grown daughters. They all know how to cook. So I don't have to get in the kitchen and cook every day because I know how to cook. I cook. My husband cook. My children cook. Everybody could cook in this household, pretty much. Well, not the young, the little ones, but everybody in this house know how to cook. So everybody is cooking. So the cooking is not all on me, or it's not on my husband cooks, so he knows how to cook. Our children know how to cook. They all know how to cook meals. They even know how to cook from scratch because they learned from us. So it's like, I don't have to be being in a marriage over 20 something years, I don't have to be in the kitchen cooking every single day. I don't have to, because there are people cooking different things. Everybody can cook. So the dynamics changes as the time goes on, but people don't understand that because they don't get to this point. You don't get to that phase. You can't even get to the beginning and establish something without it, being torn apart. So you don't get to the 20, damn near 30 years with a person and building a whole life to see all of this. This is why I say it gets better. Of course, in the beginning of a relationship, when you create children, you create a family, your kids are small. Yes, my husband was working full time out the house all the time. Yeah, I did the cooking. The majority of the cooking, because he was at work all the time. So yeah, you got to cook. You got to make sure the kids are eating. They're little. You got to do things for the kids. Well, the kids are all just about damn near grown. So it's in a cook. So it's not the same. But people don't get to that point because soon as something don't serve them, they're out of the relationship. You don't get to establish and see it through because you're done before it can even get off the ground, because something doesn't serve you or you don't feel right. And so you out. So most people don't get to establish 20 plus years, almost 30 years of being with somebody and building a life because you can't deal with it. You're not equipped to deal with a relationship, and you're looking at this cookie cutter idea of what society and others have told you it should look like, and you're missing out. That's just what it is. But yeah, I definitely agree with what she's saying. I want to hear your thoughts though. What do you guys think about what she's saying? Ladies, chime in as well. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know what you think. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one. So make sure you chime in the comments below. I want to hear what you have to say, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. DeeDeesReactions. Tell a friend.